I recorded this week's podcast in a cafe. And it's funny because it was really originally from like practical point of view. I'm like, oh, let me just record in this cafe because you can get this private meeting room and I'll just get that meeting room and then I'll record. But it turns out to be like the best thing because it reminded me of my roots of like talking about my dreams with my friends at cafes or going by myself with my 47 notebooks and laptop and phone and everything else and hashing out what my dream was. Whatever my art was, just like getting really creative. That was where I dreamed. That's where I allowed myself to really plan my dream. And so this week I am in a cafe, and I might have this be a regular thing because I really enjoyed it. It brought out a different side of my brain. So, get your cup of coffee or your espresso, or if you're a tea drinker, bring your cup of tea. Bring your iced tea. Sometimes I drink iced tea, especially being from Arizona. I love black iced tea, sun tea. Just bring your drink. And if you don't drink caffeine, you could bring your cup of water, whatever. Just come and sit and let's talk. Let's check in with each other. I'll tell you what I've been up to. You tell me what you've been up to. And yeah, let's just go from there.
Live from Los Angeles, California, this is the Lisa Murray Show. And with your host, Lisa Murray.
The day I felt like I really started living.
I don't have enough money to start this business.
I'm so tired. I hate it. I'm working all the time.
I'm not inspired when I'm worried about money.
Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all.
I'm so sick of all these positive people talking about dreams. What about money? Like, how am I supposed to get the money?
What it's really about, it's about you pursuing what makes you come alive. It's about continually connecting with that energy and just keep doing that. Keep going towards that. That's what it's about. You need to give up. There's too many obstacles. I can't take this shit anymore. Ships are safe in the harbor, but that's not what ships are built for.
It feels really good to be my own boss.
I have dreams, damn it!
Hey, welcome back to the I Have Dreams, Dammit podcast. The podcast about the realities of pursuing your dreams. The reason why I talk about the realities of going for our dreams is because I want you to go deeper, to think about things from a way different perspective than just the basic whether or not you're making money or you're quote unquote successful. I want you to think about the deeper meanings of why you had this yearning, this calling to move in this direction. Why are you doing this? And how does that connect to the rest of humanity throughout all of time? And not so that you'll have your mind blown away by history, because I was never good at history, but so that you will hold on a little bit more. You will see the amazing sacredness of your journey and what it is you're doing. Even if that journey is just because you want to sell greeting cards. And you're like, there's nothing sacred about greeting cards. You don't know that. You don't know the impact of your work. You don't know. Once it leaves you, you don't know how it's going to affect other people. And that's the beauty and the awesomeness of going for our dreams. Truly. You don't know who you're going to affect. You really don't. When I was first starting on my journey, I had a lot of teachers in the form of authors and artists and spiritual people that I just made my teachers. And for me, I had a hard time finding people that were the bridge between the deeper meanings of what was going on with me. Like, because I just think deeply, and I know that you do too. I know there's other people that do. And I think deeply. I don't just want success for the success part of it. And it seems like sometimes people gloss over the other part, I guess because they just want you to, have your own identity with it, but they kind of gloss over it like, and then you'll know the rest of your life and you'll be successful. And you're like, wait, what does that mean? Because to me, that's really what keeps us in it. Making money is essential. We need to be able to make money. We need to be able to connect with an audience. And those things are very important and very practical and very important. Like, I don't mean to say that's not important. Matter of fact, I'm saying it's very important. And it's so important. It's equally as important as the spiritual side, the other side of it, which is keeping us fed and connected to that deeper feeling and really trying to figure out some of this stuff on how the journey towards our dreams, or as we're living our dream, our creative dream, our entrepreneurial dream, as we're living that, how does that deeper part of ourselves react to it? What are all the things that come up in us? What are all the things that come up in our lives, like with relationships, friendships, whatever, everything. So that's where I'm drawn to, and that's what I want to help you with, is stay connected to the deeper side of all this. And yet, I mean, it's also fun and light and practical, and I'll have my friends on here and they'll talk about, you know, how they got to what they're doing. But I am like always drawn to that deeper part. I'm always drawn to that. I always really want to know that. But I'm so grateful for the practical advice and feedback as well, because that is so crucial. We need that. We need that practical, because otherwise it's just like a bunch of people sitting around getting deep and nobody has money. So, all right. Hey, you guys, welcome back to the I Have Dreams, Dammit podcast. So I'm like in a really loud cafe, so hopefully it's not too loud for you, but I should do a series called Café Chronicles, because some of my first conversations of depth really happened at cafes. And I would go to cafes with my friends in Arizona, in Scottsdale. I would go to cafes with my friend in San Francisco with Derek. I mean, I went to cafes and we would drink coffee and we would talk about life. We would talk about everything. We talk about our dreams, talk about everything we want to have happen, everything. And, you know, it's a cool feeling, and it's a cool place for ideas. And if you don't drink coffee, so you don't go to cafes, you don't really know what you're missing, because there's like something kind of special. I love cafes. And just curious, what do you drink? What do you like to drink? I like, I'm very picky, I think, about coffee. I didn't think I was, espresso. But I like espresso. I like a macchiato. I love black iced tea, unsweetened. But I mean, that's kind of weird because it's kind of cold today, believe it or not. It's May, it's cold, I don't know. But I don't know. I like Starbucks. I like, when I buy coffee for home, I like Peet's coffee. What do you drink? What do you like? I feel like you can tell a lot about a person. I used to like a dry cappuccino, which means not a lot of milk, but a lot of foam. But it seems like there's so much, like if I have to tell the person, the barista, every time, too many instructions, I get my hopes set up too much and then I get mad. So I don't really like that. I like to keep it simple, like macchiato, or, you know, like drip, just get a cup of coffee, you know. So how are you doing on your inspiration list? Have you written a list of things that inspire you? Did that episode inspire you? Did it make you think about things in a little different way? And hopefully nobody listening to this is in a funk, because if so, you might want to listen to last week's show, How to Get Unstuck. I talked to you about 10 things that I do to get unstuck. When I'm stuck with something, I feel yucky, I can't get beyond it. Those are 10 things. And I should have included one more thing, so I'm starting today's show with this. The 11th thing that you can do is also, sometimes you just have to wait it out. Sometimes it just has a life of its own. It just is what it is. I don't know whether the planets need to align, or your friends need to chill, or you just need to process something. Whatever it is, you just need to see it through, and in time it'll kind of dissolve. It's just, that's another one. And I didn't put that in there. I don't know why, because it is a very important one. And I would say, you know, there's a lot of times that comes up where you just sort of have to have that fortitude to see it through and just let go, you know, and try not to, you know, we're human beings. We're not human doings. And so just be. I've been thinking about, who are my listeners? Who are the people that listen to this podcast? So I think the majority of you fall into two categories. And I know there's going to be a lot of people going, hey, wait a minute, I don't fall into any of those categories. Okay, so if you want to help educate me on who you are, who is my listener, please feel free to send me an email at ihavedreamsdammit@gmail.com, or you can also send a message to me from the website ihavedreamsdammit.com. There's a message or contact tab, something like that. But I feel like there's two main groups that listen to this podcast. The first group is, you have a full-time job, and then maybe you're retired, but whatever it is, the main bulk of what you do is not your dream. And then your dream is something you're dabbling in on the side. And you want to do more of it. You want to be more successful with it. You want it to go bigger, or you just want it to make you more money. And that's your side thing. And that's the thing that you kind of want to figure out how to grow or to not let go of. Okay, that's the first group I think you fall into. The second group is you're already doing it full time, and you may have other jobs or other sources of income to supplement it, but your main focus is your dream, and you're just trying to navigate the whole thing and stay in it so that you don't have to go back to getting a job. So I think those are my two groups of people. And I'm definitely in both of those groups at various times of my life. Right now, I am doing video production and marketing, online marketing and stuff like that full time. And then this podcast is this thing that is like my heartbeat in the middle of my schedule. I absolutely love doing this podcast. And it's I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, it's like a bunch of things that don't normally go together. So it's like a release. So I get to like let out things that I've been thinking about or that I feel like build up inside of me, like a message or something. And then it's also something that grounds me. I feel very grounded when I do these shows. And then also it uplifts me. I feel motivated afterwards, because after the message comes through, I'm like, oh, I get it. Sometimes like in the whole like recording shows ahead of time thing, I want to do that and I try to do that, but there's something in me that for the podcast, it feels more aligned with me if I record it each week, because I want to capture the energy of what I'm going through and what's happening in the world. It comes through my voice. Even just saying, in the little intro when I say, welcome to I Have Dreams, Dammit podcast, the podcast, blah, 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 right? When I do that, it's like I always think, well, I could just pre-record that and just pull it out. I don't like to do that because I want you to hear me in the fullness of the energy of this week, whatever that means. There's a lot of things going on in our country right now in the United States about women's rights, and that's affecting me. And it's affecting lots of women all over the country. And it's affecting me, and I feel like the energy will come through my voice. It'll come through little things that I do or say in ways that I couldn't even imagine. And I think that's so much of how we communicate is through that energy. So that's part of what's happening, why I like to do it live. I just want to say, wherever you're at with your dream, and I always mix, I get like where I don't want to call it a dream, but it's a dream. It's something that you really want. Your career, your artistic thing, your entrepreneurial thing, whatever it is, wherever you're at, just keep going. No matter what happens, # keep going. You keep going. Like, you keep getting up, you keep learning, and I promise you the answers will unfold for you. And sometimes things will get dark. Things will feel pretty impossible sometimes. I have hit so many points in my life, in my pursuit of my dreams and in my life, and everyone does, but I'm just bringing it back down to that I questioned everything. And I thought, am I crazy for doing this? Like, why can't I just, go along with what everybody else is doing? It seems like everybody else, for the most part, it seems like most people have this thing that they're on, and I've never been on that, whatever that is. And, like, for instance, today my car didn't start. I'm having all these problems with my laptop, and anyways, it's a long story, but my computers are giving me problems, and I feel like I'm blocked at every turn, and then my car didn't start. And I had warnings all along. My battery was acting weird. I should have just stopped and sharpened the saw, which is what I talked to you guys about. But I just kept thinking, let me just get through this next thing, because I really need to get this, job done for this client. Let me just do that. And, 'cause I don't know, sometimes I think I feel like I have to focus on one thing at a time, which is like really irritating, and I hate that I'm like that, but whatever. So I was like, yeah, I'll deal with that in a second. Well, it dealt with me because it wouldn't start. So my friend took me to the auto parts store. He took the battery out of my car. We went to the auto parts store, bought a battery, tested the battery, old battery. Yes, it was dead. It was a bad battery and not even chargeable. And then brought it back and put it in, and everything starts and everything's great. And I feel a lot better right now. I still don't feel wonderful, but I feel a lot better because I feel like, okay, good. So I'm able to make some kind of dent in the list of things to do, and I'm able to solve a problem, which is my car wouldn't start. But thank you to my friend who helped me, because, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. But it looked pretty easy. Like, you just take the battery out and then you put the battery back in. But I don't know. It's not that easy, I'm sure. You know, the other thing is I found out that it was a battery, and I didn't even realize this, but it was like, I thought it was newer, and that's why I couldn't believe that it was my battery. I was like, no, it's not my battery. But it was my battery, because my battery is from 2014, and it's 2019. So that's a long time, actually, for my battery. And I drive that car everywhere. I drive it all over, you know, California, LA, Northern California, Phoenix. Like, I drive all over the place. And so I'm like, oh my God, I am so lucky that this happened when I was home and when I had a friend that could help me. And there's so many times I've been in the middle of nowhere at a rest stop somewhere. I'm so lucky that it didn't happen there. And so, and on top of it, yeah, like I'm thinking like, God, how could another thing go wrong in my life? And starting to feel like a little bit of a victim, you know, like, why is this happening to me? And I mean, I really dropped into a hole there for a second. And when I realized the battery was 5 years old, I was like, what is going on? Like, I'm actually so lucky that that battery worked at all. Like, what in the world, you know? So all it takes sometimes is a little bit more time for your perspective to shift. Sometimes, you know, we just need to get that new battery in or whatever. We just need to move forward, and that's what changes everything. And that sometimes is the one thing that really helps us, you know? So whatever you're going through, I just want this to be a little blip into your life right now, and just to catch you and say, hey, wherever you're at, whether your dream is still a side thing or if it's your main thing, but it's not where you want it to be and you're feeling frustrated, I just want to tell you, hang in there, okay? Because the most important thing is that you're alive, and as long as you're alive, you can keep trying. You can keep trying, you can keep doing things, you can keep giving it a different angle, you can keep, you know, wake up in new energy, make a new friend, like a new friend helps you with something. You never know. You know, I remember one time I went to a baseball game with my brother, and my brother Michael is who passed away, and he's on the art of the very first episode on the website under the episodes. That's my brother with his big, gorgeous hair, and then I'm sitting next to him. But anyways, so my brother was at a baseball game with my brother. He was a huge baseball fan. He used to, like, actually even, you know, I don't even know. He was just like, baseball fan isn't even the right word. He knew everything about every player, every stat, everything, in all leagues. So, but we were at a baseball game, okay? And he said, he saw people leaving, and he said, see, I never understood that. Anything could happen in this game. Anything could happen. And why would people leave? Like, why even come to the game at all if you didn't know, or if you didn't believe that anything could happen? Because things happen all the time at the end of a baseball game. That's what makes the game exciting. And then he said, that's what I always thought about suicide too. I never understood anybody who would kill themselves because, you know, anything could happen. And as a person who has thought a lot about suicide and definitely understands it, I said, well, I guess it's the equivalent of like your body's covered in blisters and all your bones are broken, and, you know, you're aching and throbbing. You don't really care about the game anymore. And he goes, oh, I never thought of it that way. But, you know, so it's true. Like, sometimes we can be so inundated with so much of the pain of life. There's so many things. I mean, that was I'm sorry, I'm a very dramatic person, but it's true though. I mean, you know, the game doesn't matter when you're in pain. All you want to do is get out of pain. That's it. And like, I'm talking about excruciating, never ending, you know, you can't get around it kind of pain. And so you don't care about a baseball game. That's the last thing in the world you care about. So, anyways, but whatever you're going through right now, even if it's in a lot of pain and everything, eventually it will change. I mean, after, you know, Derek and then Michael died, I really didn't think I would ever not be in that kind of pain again. And I still have moments where when I remember them, it strikes down into that core part of myself that feels that loss. But I'll never feel that same level of pain I felt when I found out. When I found out that Derek died and when I found out that Michael died, nothing will ever replicate that pain, I don't think. I think that's sort of like something that changed me. And so I just try to keep going, because if I could survive that, I feel like I could survive pretty much anything. And so whatever you're going through, just keep going, you know, because things get revealed to us. I've met so many wonderful people on my path, and so many cool things have happened because I kept going. And I don't really know what tomorrow brings. I don't know if I'm going to be able to manifest all of my dreams or get to where I want to go. But I know that if I keep going, something magical will come of all this, and it will mean something somewhere. And that's important. It's important to put that message out there. Do you love going to farm stands and buying fresh from the farm produce? Do you have to pull over on road trips to pet a cow? No? Okay, maybe that last part's just me. Regardless, we can all agree on our love for all things agriculture. And how about art? Don't you love watching films about artists, painters, singers, dancers, musicians? Coming in September is the Ag and Art Film Festival in Vacaville, California, and they are open for entries. So if you have a film, a narrative, a documentary, a short, or a feature, if you're a student or if you're a pro, this is your chance to show your film to the world. And by the world, I mean Vacaville, California. But still, it's going to be awesome. Visit agandartfilmfestival.com for more information, and you can submit your film exclusively on filmfreeway.com. So my main focus right now, so you can get a little insight into me, my main focus is I really want to finish my Soul Providers, editing it. I already shot it, but Soul Providers, get that ready to screen at film festivals. And I'm just trying to figure out a strategy for that. And I do want to show some of my work at my film festival, the Ag and Art Film Festival in September. But in terms of like the Soul Providers film, I do want that to screen at another festival. I don't want it to screen at my own festival because it makes it seem like, is that the only festival you get in? It's like, no, oh my God, maybe. I don't know. Oh, I'm scared. But yeah, so I really want to finish that. And then also the film festival. You know, it's my first film festival. It's going to kick off an art week in Vacaville, California. Vacaville is like kind of near Sacramento. I would say it's in between San Francisco and Sacramento, not far from Napa. And it's just this little agriculture town that there's a lot of, right on the freeway, there's a lot of outlets. A lot of people tell me, oh yeah, we used to stop there on our way to Tahoe or whatever. So it's like a little town, and there's a lot of little farms and really great history. And so I love that. And so there's the Ag and Art Film Festival is my, I just want to bring awareness of agriculture and art and how important they are to our sense of well-being as human beings. And so I want to get that together, and it's a whole weekend of films. I've already received a bunch of submissions. I'm coming close to that closing. I'm thinking about getting a coupon code for this last piece. If somebody has a film, just contact me and I'll figure something out. But probably by the end of June, I think. I have to check Film Freeway, but I think the end of June is the drop dead deadline, because then I need to notify the filmmakers who did get in that they're in and that they can start preparing to get what they need to get to me. And then I start marketing the festival. So I've got to do all that. I got to kick into my marketing gear. And that's going to be really fun, because the opening night, we're going to have it out at my friend's winery and that'll be like a meet the filmmakers type mixer type thing. So anyways, more information about all that will be on the agandartfilmfestival.com website. I need to get there and do stuff for it. So that's one thing that I need to do. So I got the film festival, I got this, and then also I do marketing for the winery, which is what got me involved in the agriculture in Northern California because of the agritourism restrictions. And so we're just working with the county and different things to try to, move things along to reflect the year 2019. So, so we're doing a lot of big things, and it's exciting. And it's just, sometimes I do feel like really like overwhelmed by my ambition. I think, oh my God, I've got a podcast, and I've got this film festival, and I got my own film, and then I've got my clients, and I have my other jobs, and then I've got my dogs and Pickles, and he's got this rash, and it's just like, I don't know how people do it sometimes, honestly. And sometimes I do feel very, very overwhelmed and like, what the heck? What are we doing? But I think if, I do it to myself. I say #keep going. I say that to myself because I start to get overwhelmed and I feel really, I could tell my self-talk, it's kind of negative. So I'll just say #keep going. Hashtag keep going. Even with the metal chairs banging in the background. Hashtag keep going, right? Oh boy. No matter what's going on, just keep going, no matter what's going on. And if you have a specific dilemma that you're really stuck on, I was thinking about adding like a little segment where I discuss with different people, like what's going on, what's your thing that's sticking you. And you can be anonymous if you prefer. And you can say, well, I've got this job, but I don't make enough money, but then I don't have any time and I don't know when I'm supposed to do it. I mean, believe me, I've been there, okay? Like, it was so hard when I was like working at Paramount and then working with Dapo when we had our little apartment in Los Angeles. And I mean, it was hard. It was really hard. But I look back and go, thank God I did that. Thank God I pushed myself. But sometimes, it does feel like, it's too much. It really does. And you really are working a lot harder than most people. Because if you're working full time and then you're working full time towards a dream, most people work full time and then they TGIF, bro, and they go get beer and they party and they let it all out. And then they start over again or whatever. Not most people, but let's just say some people. And it's like for you, like if you're like me, you're following your dreams, you're trying to make them, make it real, and you weren't born, independently wealthy, then you have to have a job. And if you have to have a job, then you have to figure a lot of stuff out. And it's really hard. It's really hard. And so, yeah, I just want to say that I get it. And it makes you feel like, you're trying to pull your lip over your head or whatever. I don't know. I heard that example somewhere. The point is, it's very, very difficult. And it's excruciating at some times. But, if you really want it, it'll give you energy. And if you don't really want it, then it will lose energy and you will stop doing it. And that's sort of like how people get weeded out, and where the people who really want this dream, who really want it, they're not going to let anything stop them. And if you really want it, you're not going to let anything stop you, no matter what anybody says. I mean, everybody told me all kinds of things when I was younger, but I didn't care. I knew what I wanted to do. And I went towards it, and it's been hard. It's been the harder route by far than if I just would have done the other route, whatever that is. But if I just would have done what other people expected, my life would be probably in some ways a lot easier right now. But I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be happy. And that's what's so important is like, what is that? And maybe not even just happy, just fulfilled. I would have a feeling of unfulfillment if I went the other route. So I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to always figure out how can I listen to that inner calling, but then still like just keep my head above the water and just keep going through this every single day. It's tricky. It's very tricky. So hats off to you if you're doing that. And I think you are if you're listening to this. And, if you want to ask my feedback on something or you want to pick my brain or something, feel free to send me an email. ihavedreamsdammit@gmail.com or send me a message from the ihavedreamsdammit.com website. And also, I'm going to take a picture of my workstation here so you can see what it looks like because it's pretty weird looking, but it's cute. It's cool. I actually like it. It's kind of like an industrial vibe in this room. But I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to show it to you. And let's see. The first person who sends me an email with the color of my computer bag that's on the table in the picture. If you can email me, the first person who emails me a picture or the color of my computer bag, I'm going to send you a $5 gift card for Starbucks so you can get a cup of coffee on me and work on your dream a little bit. So go to ihavedreamsdammit.com and on the upper right, there's a tab for episodes. Go ahead and click on that. Go down to episode number 14. That's this episode. And there should be a photo there in the show notes, and that will show you my little setup for what I used to record today's episode in this Café private meeting room. And so just let me know what you think. What color is my computer bag, man? It's not black either. Maybe it is. It might be blue, though. Well, I don't know. I didn't bring my yellow one, but maybe I should have. I'll let you decide. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit more difficult. So go ahead and if you would like to win a $5 Starbucks gift card, let me know what color is my computer bag and what drink am I drinking. And the drink will be next to my computer, my laptop, and my computer bag will be on the other side of my computer. So the color of my computer bag and what I'm drinking, okay? I'll add one more thing just to make it a little bit harder. Is my laptop open or closed? Is my laptop open or closed? So the 3 things you have to answer to win a $5 Starbucks gift card is, what color is my computer bag? What am I drinking? And is my computer, my laptop, open or closed? Go ahead and send those 3 answers to ihavedreamsdammit.com in the same email. And whoever answers all 3 correctly first, I will send you a $5 gift card. And I think I can do that through email. I don't think I have to physically send it to you. So I'll look into that while you go visit the website and check it out. All right, you guys, I hope you have a great week. And no matter what's going on, no matter how hard it is, hang in there. You're doing good things. I'm proud of you. I think it's awesome. I love that people are, that people try. That's the most amazing thing. Because the alternative is what? Not trying? Ew. Ew. Like Jimmy Fallon says, ew. Like, ew. So anyways, hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.